My name is Fraser.
My name is Mark.
And we are the hosts of the geekiest show alive. To the outside world, we're ordinary geeks.
But in the Fab International Studios, we talk comics and find other geeks just like us. This is Geek of the Week.
I need photos of Spider-Man.
So you know with the sounds of J. Jonah Jameson that it's time for the news on Geek of the Week. And there was a big sporting event. The Super Bowl happened. I've been made aware that it's not a bowl used by Superman and his super family. It's also not where you get a big cereal bowl, you throw all your superhero action figures in, shake it all about, and then the last one in there wins. You know, sort of like a Royal Rumble. It's actually I'm going to put an emphasis on this, an American football event.
Well, yeah, that's exactly
which
what
is
it is.
empty, which is nothing really for us. But what is exciting for us is they always have cool trailers.
They
and
do.
It's all about the trailers.
I genuinely think some people are more interested in what happens during the halftime than the actual Super Bowl these days.
From my experiences watching How I Met Your Mother, Lily and Robin were always into the halftime show. There's more like they make a big event of it. There's like music, obviously, like Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and all them do. Maroon 5, Coldplay, whatever you're into. They perform on there, so they do make a big spectacle out of it, which is pretty cool. But
I couldn't be less interested in the Super Bowl, but I did want to see some trailers.
I did have a bad experience once. I I watched it at university, and I was thinking that the UK broadcaster would show the trailers the same way the Americans one did. No. So I watched the whole Super Bowl. Couldn't even tell you who was playing. No trailers. And then me and my mate went back and went, do you want to go watch trailers on YouTube? And went, yeah. And you just do that now. It's just so much easier. Just wake up the next day.
I'm not interested in the American football at all.
Exactly. So the two you're barely interested in the rest of the world football.
Proper football. At least that's proper football where they kick rather than hold.
Exactly. But we've talked too much about sports for this. This ain't why you're here.
No.
You're here for the Captain Marvel TV spot. Well, maybe less so that. But the Endgame TV spot as well. So what was your thoughts and feelings on these
here's
two
the thing.
TV spots?
You might be taking the mickey there, but there is an element of everyone was waiting for Endgame and Captain Marvel kind of got overlooked.
Second time it's happened, you know.
Yeah, and you know, are they releasing them too close to each other?
Well, I think that's their issue with it, because they're releasing the two films so close to each other, March
exactly.
and April. But I guess with the March thing, they kind of wanted to, like, it's International Women's Month that month, so they sort of wanted to go for that, which I totally...
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And Avengers films always come out in May and April, so that's where they make the big bucks. So, I mean, I guess it could work out, and I feel like Captain Marvel's role in Endgame is going to be big anyway, so...
You are going to need to see Captain Marvel.
The closer and closer they get, the less chances there are for, like, spoilers, maybe, or stuff like that.
Perhaps.
Or other things, because there was an interesting bit. Let's start on the Avengers trailer. Avengers TV spot, sorry, because there was a scene where there's a load of different characters, and then there's just this like gap, and it's hinting that there might be a missing Avenger there, so it could be a Captain Marvel. They don't want to spoil that she's in there quite yet.
Yeah,
there are some speculations going around because it's Bruce Banner's there, but just as Bruce Banner. There was rumours going around that Bruce and Hulk maybe have split into two separate people, so there's going to be a thingy there. It could be Ant-Man, but they already show Ant-Man in the rest of the TV spots. But there's just... you know what? Even in like 40 seconds, they've managed to make the internet speculate just by editing.
It could be Jack
out.
of Hearts.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be Jack of Hearts.
Absolutely anyone.
It could be... who else was rubbish?
Captain
Brother Voodoo. It could be
Britain.
Brother Voodoo. It could be Captain Britain.
They finally get representation.
It could be
anyone.
It could be Master of Kung Fu, Shang-Chi. It could be anyone.
Talking about doing a film with him or something.
It could be anybody.
But yeah, what I did like about this trailer, to sort of like, we'll bring it back and sort of go more into order, is I liked that they start, because I was cool. I was like, at first I was like, oh cool, they started with this new kind of like intro, and then obviously they had the Marvel logo fading. But
I liked that it faded like a snap.
A couple more watches, because I was like, oh, Spider-Man's in it, and then I was like, wait, And then I rewatched it again and again. So you know
course you did.
that beginning bit where there's like all the different characters, all the iconic moments, and it's taken in this weird sort of photographic tone. They've changed it. It's not a sepia tone, another kind of tone. I didn't really do photography. I know sepia tone, but that's about it. But they did this sort of mess with it. All the heroes that they show for those promo things are people who've been dusted. So they show all these different heroes, then they had the Marvel logo dusting, and I was like, that is very cruel.
Clever, though.
Clever, but so cruel. So cruel.
A little bit trolley.
That was very sweet. I also liked, we mentioned with our like trailer reaction, there was a support group and stuff like that, but they clearly some time has passed since Infinity War, because they managed to get like posters and stuff like that, and like we are dealing with a world that's like, well, dealing with what happened. It was like how to deal with the support group for how to deal with the people you've lost, because it's an immense thing losing someone in general. Just like if someone passes like death.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is like a big like. It's more than just one person. It's like
everyone will have lost half of the people they know.
Exactly. Unless you don't know many people, and you're just like, oh, what's everyone can. But we do get this sense of that world, because like everywhere just looks like it's been abandoned, like the sports fields and all that. We joked as well. They were saying maybe that support group is the same one that Frank Castle, like it could be the same room that Frank Castle uses, or maybe like a Falcon from Winter Soldier. Imagine if they clash there. Frank Castle's like, I've got stuff to deal with as well, you know. But sorry, I've sort of hogged this.
But Rocket was in it, which was important to me, because he wasn't in the previous.
He's got his comic book gear as well.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Rocket. I'm very pleased that there was some Rocket.
I reckon him and Frank Castle will get on.
I do.
The guns and stuff like that. But he's going to be mourning so hard, because apart from Nebula, he's the only Guardian there.
I told you what made me cry was Rocket. So.
But yeah, we did, and we saw Nebula and Iron Man together for a bit. So maybe and like I said, with that missing Avenger thing, they're all looking at something. So it's possible that they're looking at that ship. It's not the Milano; it's the new one now. That's where Iron Man and Nebula come in. I'm just hoping they all group. I imagine they're all going to be grouped together. They're all going to assemble, whether they're going to say it or not. Is this the film they say?
Maybe they say assemble?
It was teased a lot in Age of Ultron at the end. They
didn't know.
Maybe this is the one. Although half of them have disassembled, so maybe. Who knows?
Wow.
I did like the big powerful line for me that seemed to stick out with this trailer was that most move on, not us. Now I'm paraphrasing there, but like that was like Steve Rogers' big thing. It's like there are those sport groups there. Maybe people are trying to like get over it, but they're like no. And also he was in that sport group, sort of like biting his tongue. I was like, what's he doing here, mate? Like, but the worst part is for people who aren't the superheroes, you don't know what's happened.
No, exactly right.
You're like, what is going on?
I hope they do cover that. They put some civilian kind of aspect into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking like Marvel's kind of level of, of
when
civilian,
it's a whole...
but it would still be nice to see.
They do a whole separate film.
Yeah, well, they could do. They could do. They'd make money from it. Why
like a spot in it, like a YouTube or like a one shot they started doing, but then disappeared, stopped doing. I would be down to see some of them. I would. I know it's taking humour in a very sad thing, but did you see the Team 4 stuff with Daryl? And Daryl getting a new flatmate and stuff like that. He got the Grandmaster as a new flatmate. It would be funny to see Daryl like just be like, everyone I know's gone. But I'm still stuck with Grandmaster, and he's just there like,
yeah.
But I reckon that's a bit too comedic. Although I can see Taika Waititi just doing it anyway and just being like, yeah, you can mix. It's sad comedy. You can take humour from even the saddest of things. I feel like we can't overlook any more Endgame thoughts before we sort of go to Captain Marvel and give her time.
You see, I was more interested in Captain Marvel. I know what's going to happen in Endgame, whereas there's less
out there.
Yeah, so I also thought the Captain Marvel trailer was better, actually.
I didn't. I enjoyed it, and I feel like they've got that thing of they're allowed to show more stuff now, whereas like Endgame, they've still got to keep it a bit hush-hush.
I think what it showed me was that I'm much more interested in the cinematic trailers than I am in TV spots. TV spots didn't give me enough. If you remember last week, I whined about how there wasn't enough stuff on the Birds of Prey thing.
Yeah, that too.
I want a proper, old-school proper trailer.
You
I
want
don't want
all
this
the trimmings.
cheesy malarkey. It just annoys me more than anything.
You don't want a light snack. You want the full shebang, the full
Absolutely.
the full meal. No,
Absolutely.
that's fair enough. And like, there are people who like. I admit sometimes I get over. I watch almost every TV spot. I did it with Force Awakens and like. Age of Ultron was the first one I did it for Marvel. I just watched it all and just like, oh my god, this is good, because I just wanted it all. But you sort of got to wean yourself off that sort of, because if you do it, you almost end up seeing half the film, or you get it too much in your head, or you make your own film in your head and you get sort of let down, or you sort of just like, oh, I'm not really sure how I feel. Like when I first saw Age of Ultron in the cinema, it felt like I'd already, like, that wasn't my first viewing, if that makes sense.
That's
for
no
some
good.
of it. But for some of it, I was still like, oh, this is good. But then also, that first Age of Ultron trailer was so good, and the film just wasn't that. Like, it was good, but it wasn't that good. But yeah, this TV, I liked that she was doing more piloting. We sort of saw, like, more of that. More of, like, the Earth-based stuff.
Yes, it was it was cool. It was much cooler, I thought.
And she legitimately trained with the Air Force, which is dope. Like, that's full-on commitment.
I'm really excited for
And
Captain
we kept seeing the cuts on Nick Fury's eyes.
I know.
I reckon it could be... there's potential that there's a bit of editing mischief going here, and he's going to have the eye missing the whole time, so every time he's got the cut, they literally just go...
Okay.
But that's for people to speculate.
That's pretty sucky.
Oh no, they did it with Thor. Ragnarok, there was lots of changes, like with his eye. It's just to avoid spoilers. But I'm still betting. There was one of the feedbacks. It was like on the news, of the comic book news sort of sites, is that apparently the cat's the show stealer. I reckon he's taken that
I
one.
like cats.
And we speculated when we were doing our trailer reaction that maybe there's a Skrull cat.
Yeah, it could be a Skrull.
So one of the cats, like, I reckon one of the early scenes would be really funny if Nick Fury's like, I trust you, Goose. And then later on, it's because it's the whole thing of, like, with Winter Soldier, it's like,
Skrull kitty.
I used to trust someone. But yeah, like, I mean, it's probably going to be Mendo. It's probably going to be Mendo or, you know, Captain Marvel. Oh, no, he's not Captain Marvel. Or Jude Law's character. It's probably going to be someone like that. It's not going to... But I kind of think it'd be funny if it was the cat.
I would love it if it was the cat.
It'd just be hilarious. But yeah, so the Super Bowl's past us now. We're rolling it away. We're throwing it away. There you go.
I don't even know.
Touchdown. We're talking a bit about finally, definitely. We finally know where Ben Affleck stands with Batman. He's not doing it anymore. He's not. I've gone on trend today. I'm wearing both Marvel and Batman, so I'm like fully developed on the news here. But Batman, Ben Affleck, Batfleck is finally out. He's wished Matt Reeves and the Batman team best of luck. They're releasing the film in 2021. It's finally happening, but he's like, no, I'm done, because he's always sort of been...
So he's going to appear in that film?
No.
Oh, he's not,
He's like, best of luck with it, passing on the torch, and...
I think it's very sad.
It's disappointing because I think he was the best part. He was, well, one of the best parts of Batman v Superman. He did a really good Bruce Wayne and Batman. And then you could sort of see in Justice League, like, all the just stuff and like all the issues that was happening with, like, just the DCEU were taking a toll on him. He didn't look like he cared. He had a horrible breakup with his marriage, and just everything just seemed to steamroll. And it's sad that something so nice can just take such a sour...
He was great. I'm the first to admit that I thought he was going to be terrible. I thought he was going to be a terrible Batman, and I will 100% say I was wrong. He was great. And I think it's very sad that probably the best part of the DCEU has quit.
It's gone.
So what's left? It's not
and he was
not a great universe.
He was so pivotal as well. Because
Are they
he
just
was
going to
almost
replace him
in
with another
everyone.
actor, or...?
Yeah. So there's rumours that they're either going to go for like a younger Batman story and sort of like, so it's sort of almost separated from the universe, or like the story. Not no, not separated from the universe, but like, you know how Wonder Woman and Aquaman are, not like Joker. Like how it's you tell their own Batman story. Then there's also rumours that they might do like a Dick Grayson might take over as Batman, which would be cool. Or they might just go like they did with Mark Ruffalo and just like, oh no, it's just a new Batman. There's rumour One of the speculations at the moment is like Robert Pattinson from the vampire from Twilight. Which, you know...
Please, no.
He could be a good actor. There's been people who've been in horrible stuff and ended up doing good stuff, especially in superheroes, in the superhero thing. Like Chris Evans did that Fantastic Four movie, and now he's doing great as Captain America. It does happen, Mark. But yeah, there's others like Kit Harington from Game of Thrones and How to Train Your Dragon.
He'd be brilliant.
John Hamm. There's loads going about.
I'm interested,
There's
but
loads of
I think it's a great loss to... It's a significant loss to a universe that isn't particularly good anyway.
I mean...
They're losing the best part. Well, second best part maybe to Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman? I nearly broke into song, but then I stopped myself.
I'm glad you didn't.
But yeah, it is sad, and it's also it's sort of spinning off sort of stuff we were talking about last week with Birds of Prey. What I didn't notice last week when we were recording is there's a Joker tattoo that's crossed off in Harley, so it might be Jared Leto's going as well with the Joker. So we don't have at the moment we don't have a Batman or a Joker. So it's kind of a weird DCEU. But
doesn't surprise me.
But to be fair,
they don't seem to have a clue.
Yeah, like the one I want to take a positive out of this is the fact that this Batman film's actually going to happen now, because it's 2021. They've put a date on it, and that was because this was announced ages ago, but never had a year or a date on it. They were just like, we know we want to do a Batman film, and they also knew they wanted to do a Man of Steel sequel. That doesn't look like it's going to happen because Henry Cavill was so and so on whether he's coming back. But now it's like we can actually move on. We know
it's rats leaving a sinking ship.
We know that Ben Affleck is definitely he wanted to stay. It was apparently something with them. I don't know. It's his drama. But it's, it just means that we are going to get a Batman film, and it's, them working towards that. So that's my positive out of it anyway. Now, the positive vibes are going sky high, because the Invincible animated series that's coming on Amazon has just announced a stellar cast. So it's
pretty impressive.
We've got Stephen Yen from Walking Dead fame. He's reuniting with Robert Kirkman, and he's going to play the main character, voice the main character, Mark Grayson. Got J.K. Simmons, good old J. Jonah Jameson.
It is
going to be Omni-Man, who's Mark Grayson's dad. And then some of the cast on here is like Sandra Oh from That Killing Eve, Seth Rogen, who's going to be doing a live-action film of this as well, Gillian Jacobs from Community fame, Britta. I'm getting rid of the Britta. There's some other people who I'm
Walton
not
Goggins, who has got some serious stuff.
Zazie Beetz from Deadpool 2. Mark Hamill.
I know.
Mark Hamill.
Best.
What?
Best.
What? Like, just Mark Hamill alone in geek culture is amazing, but he's such an incredible voice actor as well. I'm sort of hyped to who he's going to be. There's some people, Greg Griffithson, who's done some Avengers Assemble stuff.
You've
got Michael Richardson from Young Justice. You've got Millis from The Flash, who played Linda Park. So you've got people who've been in that geek culture, played those comic book characters, and also stellar voice characters, all on this one thing. And
imagine if this was a cast of a show. A live action show. That would be an all-star cast.
Incredible. Like, it's ridiculous.
Stephen Yeun is 35. He couldn't play.
No.
He couldn't play the main. He couldn't play. What's the main character?
Mark Grayson.
Mark Grayson. He couldn't play Mark Grayson on the live action, but.
And also believe in the fact that J.K. Simmons and him are related would be a bit like...
Well, yeah, exactly. They don't really look very similar. Yeah. So, I mean, this couldn't be the live-action cast. Yeah. But it's fantastic.
I'm speculating that Sandra Oh from Killing Eve might be the mum. But I did, for those of you who don't know Invincible, we touched a bit on it on Trade Off a few weeks ago. But it was my... It's my one image book that I read for the longest time. Whenever someone's like, some people like Mark would say, you're just a child, you only read childlike stuff.
I don't ever abuse you like that.
Yeah,
you
all the time. Everyone knows, don't
you imagine
There's evidence now. See, you think you can hide away from it, but there's evidence on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Mixcloud, all the stuff we're on. You can hear.
Holy plug, Batman.
Oh, I know, right? That's pretty good, that. But, so that was always my one image book, was like, read Invincible, because it's superheroes, but it's a bit darker, it's a bit more adult. And basically, Mark Grayson is sort of the son of this big famous, basically Superman character in Omni-Man, and he's sort of learning to grow up with it. But it's a more accepting thing. Like it's almost like a family business, the superhero business. Like that's the name of the first volume. Is like it's like business is family, or family is business, or something like that. But one of the things is they parody a lot of superhero stuff. Like they parody the Justice League a lot in the second volume. So maybe some of these voice characters will be those parodies. Or I can't imagine all of them being on one episode. So I imagine through the series we're going to hear different voices.
I think this is going to be brilliant.
Like it's
how can it not be?
It's just epic. Like, and it's
got such great source material as well. I think this has got written all over it.
It's got 24 volumes to work with, and I think I'm glad it's getting the animated TV series, because Ryan Otley does some beautiful art in it, and I kind of want to see that art come to life, and like sort of live action. You can sort of lose that. Don't get me wrong, I'm so excited for this. Is also getting a movie as well. How mad! Like it's time to get. If you were thinking about, I might read Invincible, now is the time to read it.
Robert Kirkman is red hot, isn't he? Robert Kirkman is red hot. He can do no wrong. He's got The Walking Dead, Fear of the Walking Dead, Outcast, and 2 potential Walking Dead spin-offs. No wonder they want his material. He is red hot.
Exactly, and what a time to be him. I bet he's just like loving it. He's just because he's wrote all these, like it's 24 volumes of this. He's done like 24 plus volumes of Walking Dead. So although Walking Dead are catching up to him, he can sit easy for a bit if it wasn't for the Walking Dead TV show being like, yeah, dude, no, we're catching up to you. He's like, but I wrote so many volumes. I thought He's
pretty prolific.
I'd be a bit flustered. I'd be like, maybe this... I think he stopped a load of his stuff just to catch up on Walking Dead, to be honest. But I'm happy for him. I'm buzzing that Invincible's going to be on it. Happy days. Last bit of news, we've another... Well, this is foreshadowing because we've got this on trade-off. Why the Last Man got picked up... was it by... Who's it by? Was it Amazon? Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Amazon are picking up a Why the Last Man series. I don't know much about it. We're going to read it in trade-off soon, so there's a bit of foreshadowing for you.
For me, it's fantastic because it's been in development hell since 2010. That's long. It's a wonderful comic book that really deserves an adaptation because I'm going to try not to spoil it too much, but it's a really cool, interesting, innovative feminist story, and it's brilliant, and I loved it. And they've got Barry Keoghan as Yorick, which looks cool.
Yeah.
And I'm interested how they're going to animate his pet monkey. And
wait, he's got a pet monkey. I might have to pull this a bit closer on trade.
But it's I am really excited
next week's book. No,
I'm really excited about it. It's a book that really deserves an adaptation, and I hope it's good because the comic books are sublime.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But
Very
there we
excited.
go. More adaptations everywhere, and I just love it. Just more comic book stuff. Bring it all. We'll take it all. But what are your thoughts and feelings? We want to know. You can either comment below if you're listening on YouTube. We've got a Facebook group that you can join the discussion. You can at us on Twitter or Tumblr.
Tumblr.
Exactly.
Fraser runs the Tumblr. I don't think I've even looked at the Tumblr.
I think I run all the social medias.
I run. I do like editing and podcast stuff.
Yeah, you're the podcast.
Mixcloud,
You're the podcast inside.
Stuff. Yeah.
I'm the social. I'm the millennial. But yeah, we're interested. We're interested. We're interested to know what you all think. What are your thoughts and feelings on this? Are you a fan of the Super Bowl, or do you just watch the trailers? Just the trailers. They're the important parts. But that's the news for this week.
Thanks for listening to Geek of the Week. Be sure to tune in next week. Same geek time, same geek channel.
And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at GOTW Radio on Twitter. Search for Geek of the Week Radio Show on Facebook. And to listen again, it's www.mixcloud.com/Geek of the Week Radio Show.